Big and bold improves the accuracy of the IAF feature applicable to the A7 Mark IV and A7 Mark IV kit. And yes, I will do an eye autofocus test, but before that, let's finish up the benefits of this firmware update. And that's for this lens. It fixes an issue where it can't take pictures with the 20-60 tiny little travel lens. Coincidentally, I used it over the weekend for a hiking trip and it worked spectacular. Really love this lens, so I'm glad that this fix is in it. It also improves operational stability of the camera, whatever that means. Set your camera to USB mass storage, setup 11 USB connection mode, download the app, run it, endure 15 minutes of intense tension, and then you're ready to go. No need to reboot your camera. Confirm the system software version of your device. This is where it gets me. There's a software update button on the A7 Mark IV. Where is the SD card updates? They have it here in the camera, but it's not available yet. What's up, Sony? And for the formalities, be sure to like, subscribe. These videos take a lot of time, work, and energy, and they pretty much guarantee that my children are ignored. The foundation for these shots can be seen on the lower screen. It's using wide area, and I'm just holding down the autofocus button the entire time. 1/60 shutter, f1.8, ISO 800. So this one's out of focus and it's slightly back focus. Keep that in mind. Circling back, this test is all done with video type lighting is constant. However, I had to keep the shutter speed very high to keep away from any shutter shake. And on this take, I was using a remote to prevent the machine from wobbling around. And previously you just saw a thumbs up. A thumbs up means that it's usable and it's mostly in focus, but it's not perfect focus. The happy face is perfect focus. And the guy with the X means that it's out of focus or unacceptable. There is one shot later in the video that I was totally out of focus, and that's due to user error. So I won't be counting that one in. The thing with the A7 Mark IV is that when you plug in the HDMI like I am here to do my test, I can't see the articulating screen anymore. So a lot of these tests, I had to look into the camera and I couldn't see what was going on, just praying that it got in focus. Moving on, here is the side angle view. It's not completely to the side, however, it's slightly at an angle. Going back to the first set of results, I had 16 out of 19 in perfect focus. 2 were out of focus and 1 was usable. This angle shot is a little bit different to judge because, well, you're at an angle and the depth of field might matter more. So I'm going to be judging my picks based on where the eye pupil meets the white area. I guess around there would be perfect focus, and so far it's looking really good. I'm gonna spoil it for you guys. This one was where I got the most amount of keepers. Everything just looks very good. I can't really flaw it. And now we are at the last one, and it got a perfect score, 17 out of 17. And next up is the backlit scenario. This usually gives cameras problems because it's a lower contrast. That's why if you're looking at the photo, the full screen, it is hard to even tell that it's in focus. If you're using lights against the sunset, this is often the scenario. So your autofocus has to be able to look into this without problems. But you will get better results if you have a reflector or if you're using lights. This is just to test the autofocus. And if you're like my wife and have trust issues, then go ahead and pause the video and look for yourself and compare it with my ratings. Watch on a tablet, watch on a laptop, watch on a bigger screen TV, and be sure to give the video a like, of course. And then you can make your own decision. I mean, when you're looking at these, you can see that the eyebrows are slightly out of focus because it's nailing the eye pupil. That depth of field is just so tiny with the f1.8, 50 millimeters, and this distance. The key is the distance. If you're this close, then your depth of field is going to be tiny with a lot of lenses. Even a 35 millimeters would blur one eye and keep the other eye in focus type of deal. So as you can see so far, most of these are on the mark. There was one time where I pre-released too early. What can I say? I was overexcited. So the final tally, excluding the way out of focus, is 21 out of 21 on this test. I'll include APS-C shots for the sake of thoroughness, or it could be I accidentally did an entire test in APS-C mode. For the sake of brevity, I'll speed up this footage so it doesn't waste your time entirely. And let me just get straight to it. It's very good. The overall sharpness of APS-C mode was very good. It nailed it. A little bit more than the full frame mode. And using close distance wide aperture with firmware 1.01, you should be in good hands in either APS-C or full frame. And here are the final tally results. 101 perfect out of 108, 4 out of 108 usable, 3 out of 108 out of focus. So were you one of the users that had issues before? I didn't seem like it was much of an issue. I have realistic expectations. I'm married after all. It's interesting that the ones that are out of focus or usable tended to be slightly back focus, while in the previous test, anything that was out of focus tend to be front focus. So maybe Sony did some sort of micro adjustment, even though this is a mirrorless camera and there shouldn't be any micro adjustments. With these kind of results, I really expect the complaints to die down a bit. Sony is listening. Yeah, they are. The fact that they released this firmware without providing the really cool SD updates, they probably rushed it. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, sub, share. See you on the next one. Take care.